Hello, welcome to Herdstone Painting. My name is Mark, and today we're going to be painting the tokens and coins, or markers as they're sometimes called, from the new Blood Bowl team, the Tomb Kings. This was a comment from Mike Hillier, who was keen to see how these would be painted, so I thought, you know what, that'd be an interesting little video to do. So alongside the Tomb Guardian that we painted this week, I thought I would do this at the same time. So we're starting with the turn markers / score markers, and we're going to start with the casket element. This is effectively a miniature casket of souls, right? But it's the casket of bowls, I guess. And we're going to start with retributor armor all over that base, and we're going to paint these fairly swiftly. The team's tough enough to paint, so let's make sure these are nice and easy. So what we're going to do, once that retributor armor is dry, which you may need to do 2 coats, is to grab some Reikland Fleshshade and apply that all over. Make sure the paint is fully dry before applying the wash, because otherwise you will easily get flecks of the metallic paint into your wash as you do this. Now we're going to dry brush rather than going in edge highlighting anything. We're going to hammer this with Liberator Gold. Get the brush as dry as you can. I've actually recently purchased some new dry brushes which I'm going to be using soon, but for now I'm just using my old beaten up brushes to achieve this. And once you're happy with that effect, grab some Stormhost Silver and do a lighter highlight. We're almost feathering this. Really feather it around the edges. There's a lot of harder edges here, which is quite favourable for dry brushing. So just work your way around and pick out the areas you want to be a bit brighter. Remember, we are speed painting these a little bit faster than the team. They're just markers at the end of the day. Next we'll move to the ball that's being held aloft by the spirits within the casket of bowl. And we're starting with Rhinox Hide on the ball element. Again, make sure if you're using a wet palette, fabulous. If not, make sure to water this down as much as you can before using it. You want a nice, smooth consistency. Rhinox Hide covers really well, but you're going to probably want 2 coats regardless. Then we'll wash both of these at the same time. So what we'll do is just paint the metal bars or metal grips around the ball in Iron Hand Steel. Now of course, don't use this on a wet palette, just use this on a normal palette and add water. Keep adding water as it dries, keep it nice and fluid. Once both of those parts of the ball are painted, grab some Nuln Oil and just douse it all over. We'll then go in with Rhinox Hide and relayer over all of the ball. We're literally going to only leave the recesses, Nuln Oil here in the creases of the ball, so where it's been stitched together, and around where the hand is holding it, but the wash we'll use later will blend into this ball. Then we'll grab some Gorthor Brown and just paint an edge highlight around the edges of the leather sections and paint some lines along those seams. And for the metal elements, just leave the wash on the Iron Hand Steel. It always looks really nice and simple, keeps it looking fresh. And then we'll just get some Stormhost Silver and just paint one side of those bandings and all of the studs. Now we're going to move on to the ghostly flames on the casket of bowl, as well as some of the other elements that we want to match with our team. So our team has white armor panels with the gold trim, so we're going to paint certain elements of the casket. But if you guys have another color scheme in mind, hit us up in the comments and we'll come up with a cool recipe for those pieces. But we're going to paint around all the flames and the ghostly hand here first. Now this is going to be quite tough because you've done all of that work on the ball, so work your way around gently both sides of the fingers. Make sure to try to not get anything onto the ball itself. Now we will wash the white elements for the team in a mixture of Nuln Oil 50-50 with Lamy and medium. Run that around all of these elements. I've just picked a few parts that I think, look nice in the white. Once that's dry, grab some Corax White again and just paint over all of the higher elements, leaving that greyish wash in the recesses. And then when that's dry, you may want to do 2 coats, see how you feel. You may want to go over it again, but once you're done, get some white scar. And I found just painting an upside L on the top and I think it's left side in this case of all of these squares worked really nicely. You don't need to do all 4 sides, just work your way around 2 pieces. Okay, so going back to that ghostly flame now, we're going to use 2 washes here. We're going to use Biltang Green first, and I'm painting that sort of 2/3 of the way up here. Really do be generous with the wash. Really get it into all of those areas and make sure there's quite a lot on your brush here. And then when you're satisfied with how that looks in the green, we're going to wash our brush, make sure we don't cross-contaminate our washes here, and grab some Tyran blue and paint that top third and then blend it in, try and make it almost like a 50-50 split. So paint the area and then just really start mixing it in before any of those washes dry. If you let the green dry here, the effect will not work. So moving on to the bones now, there's of course a lot of skulls on the top of the casket, and then there are a few loose jawbones and femurs, something, bones just at the bottom. So we're going to keep it simple, paint all of these in Wraithbone. To start, you may need 2 coats. Of course, this is the last stage here, so do take your time. If you make any mistakes, just chip back away at it. Then we'll get some Agrax Earthshade and carefully wash over all of our bones and skulls. We'll then relayer over with Wraithbone, leaving the Agrax Earthshade in the recesses of the bones. Then on the skulls, that'll be the eye sockets, nose, around the teeth, etc. And you want to make sure that it's well watered down here so you can get a nice glaze on the top of those skulls. And then finally, we'll grab white scar and just highlight the top edges. And that'll match the team, and it will look nice on the skulls. Here again, use a watered down white, but on the top of the skulls, get some further watered down white and try and glaze that on the top sections. And here we are. Here's our markers, turn markers or score markers, whatever you want to use them for on your player boards. We based the markers in the same theme as our team, and we've given it a black rim. I think for the speed, we're trying to get these done quickly. They are just peripheral pieces, really, paraphernalia, if you will. So I don't normally dry brush gold, but it seems to work for something like this, and I feel the blend from the green to blue could be a bit more imposing, but hey look, these are side pieces at the end of the day. You'll have spent all of those hours on your team, why not just try and get these done nice and quickly. So moving on to the coins. Now these are really difficult to paint because they don't have any bases, of course, so what I tend to do is blue tack them down on the Blood Bowl side onto at the handle, as you will see in a moment, and paint one side before varnishing them, letting them dry, and then flipping them and painting the other side. Bit fiddly because you've got the rim to paint on both sides, but we'll get to that in a moment. So we're going to paint the heads side, or the Tomb King side, let's say, and we're matching the colour of our team. So we're going to go with Corax White. This will need 2 layers, but make sure it's nice and watered down, and it should cover anything. We'll then mix a 50-50 non-oil and Lamy medium and wash that all over the white sections. Again, of course, make sure your Corax White is bone dry, so pardon the pun, before adding the wash. We'll then go back in with Corax White, again watered down, and just relayer over everything, leaving that 50-50 mix in the recesses. We want these to look quite graphic, so the cleaner you can get it, the better. We'll then paint a line of white scar around the furthest edge, and then add a little bit extra in above the wings and around the skull as well, just to make it stand out a little bit more. Now, moving on to the gold. This is the same recipe effectively as what we've just done on the markers, but we're going to paint this in rather than dry brushing it, because we're going to make a hell of a mess if we try to dry brush these now. And I feel it's easier to do this than dry brush the whole thing and then try and paint the white back in underneath. I think that's really difficult. So we're going to grab Retributor Armor and paint that all over. You may want to do 2 coats. Retributor Armor is quite good at coverage, but I find with metal paints, you do want to make sure they're watered down to a point. What you can do as you're painting is continually add water as you go, and that should keep the paint nice and liquidy, nice and applicable. Once that's dry, we'll carefully go in with Reikland Fleshshade and wash all of the gold. Now what I've done is painted the rim, edges, as well as all around the corner as well, but not the back at this point, because we're going to go back in and paint that later. Once that wash is dry, we're going to go in with Liberator Gold and relayer over all of our Retributor Armor sections, leaving the Reikland Fleshshade in the edges. And once that Liberator Gold is done, which is quite the piece of work, you want to go in with some Stormhost Silver and just gently pick out all the edges that you feel needed. You don't want to go around every single edge. You want to almost make this thing feel like it's a bit more three-dimensional than it is. So pick out the top sections, run it around the skull area, and of course pick out the same parts of the wings on the token. So now we'll get some Vallejo matte acrylic varnish. If you've not got this, any other varnish will do. We're going to just hand paint this on to the top side and make sure it's bone dry again, bone dry, before flipping this over and painting the tail side. So the secondary colour for our team is Storm Vermin Fur. We could have gone with Corvus Black, but we wanted to go with something a bit different. So we flipped them over now. Our other sides are nice and dry with the varnish. We're going to go in with Storm Vermin Fur. Now this is a layer paint. We kept it nice and watered down, but we will do 2 coats of this because it's quite a thin paint. Our loincloths on our team are Storm Vermin Fur, so this matches that. We'll then wash with just pure Nuln Oil in this case. Again, make sure your paints are dry. These tokens have some really tight spots, especially on this side around the letter B's. So paint can sometimes take a long time to dry on these things, so just a word of warning. We'll then relayer with Storm Vermin Fur, leaving the Nuln Oil in the recesses. I don't often bother with the internal of the Blood Bowl B's, but you can, if you feel like you want to go in there and add that paint, then feel free. I tend to just let the wash do the work there. And then we'll just paint a line of Dawnstone around the edge just to pick it out. I know there is a texture on these and some people like to sort of pull it out. I try to keep it quite graphical, quite flat. The wash does still show through that Storm Vermin Fur layer anyway. And you're just going to run around with the Dawnstone and then just pick out a little bit more of it with the Administratum Grey. Not the whole line, maybe just the middle 50% of what you've already shown already here. And then for the other elements, we're going to follow previous steps, so you can swing back to earlier parts of this coin painting process, and we're going to paint the bees with Corax White, so you can follow what we did on the front side with this. And then we'll paint the rest of the gold. So that's going to be the final trim element. You can see what we've already painted on the edge, but we're going to just make sure to paint the Retributor armor up to that corner. And then we're also going to paint the Blood Bowl ball, the graphical element. Don't worry about getting it into the recesses here, because the wash will fill all of that in. Just to seal it all up, we'll make sure we match the other side with a nice layer of the Vallejo matte acrylic varnish. And that's our coins or tokens done. Front and back, heads or tails, everybody. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful to those out there who picked up the new Blood Bowl team. They're an absolute great team to paint, and soon I'll be doing a video about it all and how it was to paint them. So like and subscribe, and if you didn't, then thanks for stopping by, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.